few things on Paleocrat. You know, what I've never seen addressed, to tell you the truth, is Paleocrat's first things. Where are Paleocrat's first things? What standard does he use to say that nationalism is the way to go? And what makes that standard binding upon anybody else? He gives no justification for this nationalism. What all protectionists do is want to force their will on somebody else. And there's two things about nationalism and protectionism. See, for some reason, it's an arbitrary designation of the nation. Paleocrat believes in free trade. Paleocrat believes in free trade. The only question is, how far is the scope of your trading network going to be? See, for Paleo, he's arbitrarily set it at his country's borders. But due to the new methods of technology that we have and how we're able to communicate and interact with people across the world and in different countries, I may have a stronger bond with somebody in Mexico or South America or Africa or Europe than I do with a stranger in Minnesota. So who is Paleocrat or any of these protectionists to say that for some arbitrary reason I should rather trade with a stranger in Minnesota than somebody I know in another country? But it doesn't even have to do so much with the loyalties as it does free will. It should be my free will to do with business as I please, do business with whom I please. And the designation of the nation as the ending point where you can engage in free trade is totally arbitrary. And see, I love my position because my position can be instituted across America. And everybody will still be free to trade with whom they please. I won't co-opt anybody's free will. You know what? If you're a nationalist, you enjoy trading with nationalists or with your countrymen and not beyond your borders, you'll still be able to do that under my system. If you only want to trade with people there in the state of Michigan, you'll still be able to do that in my system. You just trade with whoever you want right there in Michigan. But under the system of the protectionists, somebody's free will is co-opted if they wish to trade outside their own borders. And so my position is a much stronger position in ethics and everything else, because their position always involves co-opting the free will of individuals. And I don't see what the justification is for that. Where is the standard? Like I said, first things, where is the standard that says the nation is the limiting, is the point at which free trade should be cut off? And what is it that says that standard should be binding upon other people who don't agree with it? So Paleocrat is like Lucy right now. Got some explaining to do. Got some explaining to do. The other thing is economic nationalism is a march backwards. If you would rather trade with your countrymen because you feel some kind of bond or kinship with them because of sharing patrimony, then surely you are closer to your brethren there in Michigan than you are to people outside of Michigan's borders. So why would you not, if that is the reasoning for being an economic nationalist, then why would you not be an economic statist? Why wouldn't you just trade with people there in Michigan? Well, if you're closer to the people of Michigan than you are to the people across the rest of the country, then why wouldn't you just trade with people there in your county? Surely you have more interaction with them and more, you know them better than people you know way off in different parts of Michigan. And if you'd rather trade with people in your county than people in the far-reaching parts of Michigan, well then why wouldn't you rather just trade with somebody right there in your town? Rather than somebody all the way across on the other end of the county? Because surely you know the people in your town better than you know the people over there in the other part of your county. Well, if you'd rather trade with people in your town than places in other parts of your county, because surely you're closer to them, well then surely wouldn't you be closer to people in your neighborhood than you would to people all the way across town, way over there on the other side of Battle Creek? You know? Because surely you know them better, you interact with them, your home's right near their home, you see them on the street, you pass them by. Well, if you'd rather trade with people on your neighborhood than people across town, well, why wouldn't you rather people trade with just the people on your street? Because, I mean, really, even where I sit, I don't know the people 6, 7 streets over that well, even though they're right here in my neighborhood. I know my neighbors better, so why wouldn't you rather trade with them? Well, if you'd rather trade with your neighbors on your same street, well, why wouldn't you just, surely you're closer to your 2 next door neighbors, one on each side of you, than you are with the guys down the street, all the way down on the other end of the cul-de-sac. So why not just trade with those 2 guys? Because, I mean, you know them better than you know the guys way down there on the cul-de-sac. Well, if you're trading with your neighbors, you know, and you know your own family better than you know your neighbors, surely, and you care about your family more than you care about your neighbors, why wouldn't you just trade within your family? Just all of you. Just make what you need for each other. And just live on one another. If full employment is great for the nation and the state and the county and the city and the neighborhood, well, you'd be fully employed. Just you and your family. You'd have all the employment you can handle. Just making everything for yourself. And, well, you know, some people, why not just limit it to yourself? See, the progress is continually backwards if you use this logic of protectionism. And what it is somebody say, trade with only people on my street. What? That's ludicrous. I mean, I got it. There's not enough people there to fulfill all the needs. Well, of course not. That's why we branch outward and ever inclusive rather than ever exclusive. And what Paleocrat and so many other people do is they arbitrarily set how far out that network can extend, because their logic is flawed. The logic would have them making every single thing for themselves. Their logic would. But they don't want that. They want some degree of freedom, but for some reason they've arbitrarily placed the designation on their brothers, their countrymen. So that's what happens under economic nationalism. And so the question that I would like answered is, why nationalism? Why nationalism? What are the first things in nationalism? Maybe you can quote me scripture and verse, I don't know. But like I said in my other video, from everything I can see, God leaves us as free individuals. So, why nationalism? And if you think nationalism, why should that standard be binding on anybody else? When my system allows you to do exactly what you want. Your system co-opts the free will of free individuals, and I don't see what the justification could even possibly be for that.